Hi there! Today we're learning English while we take a calm walk in nature and explore a forest in Australia. You can speak along with me and use this video for shadowing practice, or you can relax and listen along. If you're new to learning English and want to see more about life in Australia, maybe you're planning to travel here, are studying here, or will move here for work, this video series will help you understand everyday English while exploring real places around Melbourne and Australia. In this series, I've used the 3,000 most common English words to help you learn quickly through comprehensible input. I make new videos every week, so please subscribe to see them every Sunday. Okay, let's go for a walk. Today, we're visiting the Yarra Ranges. This area is about a 90-minute drive from Melbourne. This area is very green and full of tall, old trees. There are ferns everywhere, and the forest feels cool and calm. This area is traditionally called Wurundjeri country. The Wurundjeri people are the traditional owners of this land. The first place we're visiting today has a lookout. We'll walk onto this silver platform in front of us. This platform lets us walk out over the forest. We're walking into the canopy. The canopy is the top layer of the forest where the leaves and branches meet. It almost feels like we're walking through the tops of the trees. The platform is quite long. I think it's about 40 meters. Let's walk together to the sunny spot at the end. As we walk, we're getting closer to a tall tree ahead. On the left side of the tree, we can see green leaves growing along the edge. From here, it feels like we're standing in the middle of the trees. We're not standing on the ground anymore. If we look down, we can see the forest floor. Currently, we're about 15 meters above the ground. That's quite high. We're standing 15 meters up in the air. Looking down, we can see large ferns making beautiful patterns. Each fern has long green leaves that spread out in a circle. These leaves are called fronds. A frond is the long leaf of a fern. Some fronds are bright green and others are darker green. It's very relaxing and peaceful to look at these ferns. I find watching the ferns to be mesmerizing. Mesmerizing means that it's so interesting or beautiful that you want to keep looking at it. Can you see the path below us? That path is a boardwalk. A boardwalk is a wooden path built above the ground. Boardwalks help protect the forest floor and make walking a little easier. Later, we'll walk along that boardwalk. The path below curves through the trees. It winds slowly through the forest. The view from up here is very unique. The platform is made from metal with small gaps. We can see through it. If you don't like heights, this might feel a little scary. You might feel nervous. Are you comfortable with heights? Or do you prefer to stay close to the ground? I'm not bothered by heights, so I think it's interesting to look down. If you don't want to look down, That's okay. The view looking out is beautiful too. There's a light breeze. The leaves are moving gently. Some of these small leaves are dark green and others are light green, almost yellow. Now let's walk down into the forest. We'll walk past this sign and turn to the left. We'll walk down these stairs. We're walking down deeper into the trees. The forest here is very dense. Dense means there are many trees and plants close together. There's another flight of stairs. Even the walk downstairs is very beautiful. Everything feels green and full. Now we're walking up another set of stairs. The path we're walking on is a loop. It goes around in a circle and comes back to the start. We'll finish the walk at the same place we began. But there's another small path here. This path leads to the river. Can you hear the water? The river is flowing over rocks behind this tree. The sound is soft and relaxing. If we walk a little further, we can follow the river through the forest. The air here feels cool. It feels very refreshing. Beyond the river, there are some very old and tall trees. They have thick trunks. This tree has moss growing on the side. The moss looks soft, like a sponge. The roots of a tree are usually underground, but this one is sticking out of the ground. This branch over here has fallen and broken in half. It has snapped in two. We can see the inside of the wood. We'll continue along the loop now. We're back on the boardwalk. There aren't many people here today. It feels quiet, like we're alone in the forest. Some branches have grown over the path. We'll have to walk underneath them. If we look up, we can see the platform we were standing on earlier. The platform is in the shape of a cross. It looks very dramatic from below. Can you see the people standing up there? You can see the shape of their feet on the platform. The sun is shining bright through the trees behind them. What a lovely way to explore a rainforest in Victoria. In Victoria, rainforests are cool in temperature and are full of ferns. They're some of my favourite places to visit. We've made it to the end of the loop. We need to walk back up these stairs. The stairs look quite steep, but luckily there's only a few flights. Now we're driving to another part of the forest. This part of the forest also has a river. This river is wider than the first one we saw. The water here moves faster over the rocks. We're walking along a dirt trail now. There is no boardwalk to walk along here. The forest here is very dense with ferns. The ferns have grown close together. Because there are so many ferns growing here, the path is narrow. Can you see the ants on this tree? The ants are tiny. These ants are moving up and down. They're moving in a vertical line. Other ants are moving side to side. They're moving in a horizontal line. As we walk along this track, we can see a beautiful view of ferns, some tall trees, and some mountains behind the trees. After we walk underneath this tree branch, we can choose which path we'd like to take. Let's turn left. The track on the left is a little longer than the track on the right. Some of the plants on this part of the track are low to the ground, and some are tall. They look like umbrellas. When you look closely at a fern, you can see the ends curled up. They look like small balls. Fern fronds start rolled up and then they slowly open. They unfurl. When they unfurl, it means that they slowly open out their frond. I think they're so interesting to look at. Each one is slightly different. The trail makes a crunching sound under my feet. The ground is flat. There's no incline. We're not walking uphill. We can keep walking at this same level. The trail is easy to walk. There are lots of small sticks and twigs along this path. This stick is long and thin, and this twig is shorter. There's lots of bark that has fallen onto the ground. Bark is the outer layer of a tree. There are lots of little leaves here too. And, of course, there are heaps of small rocks and pebbles. Just ahead, on the right side of the path, is a log. This log looks like it's been cut because the end of the log looks flat and smooth. There's a hollow in the center of the log. Maybe an animal lives in there. Today is a hot day. The temperature will reach 33 degrees. Right now, it's about 27 degrees. Forests feel a bit cooler than cities because the plants help to cool the air. That's why this is a great place to visit on a hot day. I haven't seen many other people out on this trail today either. This trail is not busy. Maybe because it's a bit too hot? It's very quiet, and you can hear the sounds of the forest. There are white spots on these skinny tree trunks over here. The trunks are very thin and long. There are more spots on the right trunk than on the left trunk. Along the side of the trail, I can see the roots of the trees. As I walk past them, I can see the roots popping out of the dirt. You can see how the roots are growing down into the ground. I'm going to walk down these stairs. They're a little hidden in the shade. Let's walk downstairs. If we look up, we can see the canopy above us. The fronds are blocking out most of the sun and create a nice shady spot beneath them. We can see the silhouettes of the leaves. A silhouette is a dark outline of a shape against the light. The sunlight is flickering through the leaves. The green looks bright and vibrant. It's nice and cool down here. Halfway down the stairs, there's a small bench so you can have a rest. The bench is wrapped around the tree. The tree is in the middle of the bench. I need to retie my shoelace, so I'll put my foot up onto the bench to balance. These shoes are called runners. Sometimes they're called sneakers. Now I've tied up my runners and we can keep walking. There's a fallen branch ahead on the path. We'll have to step over it. The river here is flowing rapidly. The water is moving very quickly. There are lots of mossy rocks around the edges of the river. Near the river, the ground feels damp. Damp means that it feels slightly wet. The water is crystal clear. There are ripples on the top of the water, but you can see right through it. The water looks very clean. I can see the pebbles at the bottom of the river. Even on a hot day, the water is very cold. It feels nice to let the cold water run over my hand. It feels refreshing. It will cool me down after walking in the heat. Do you often go on nature walks? If you do, it can be a great way to practice English. A simple way to practice English is to try describing what you see around you. As you're walking, try to make simple sentences like, "There is green moss on this tree." "It feels nice to walk in the sun." "I will walk underneath this log." This will really help your English speaking skills. If you're new to learning English, you can start with simple words like river and path, or verbs to describe what you're doing, like walking or looking. This way, you won't just learn a word, but you will understand it. It might be a little difficult at first, but over time, you will become more confident. You don't need long sentences, and you don't always need to sit down with a textbook to study. This is a really fun and memorable way to learn everyday English. We've finished our walk and are now at the picnic area. There are a few tables in this grassy area. I'm going to sit, eat a snack, and drink some water. The weather is quite hot now, so I'm very thirsty. I brought a container of fruit salad to eat. It has oranges, mango, passion fruit, and blueberries. The blueberry juice has turned the fruit purple. It still tastes delicious. It's a perfect snack for a hot day. Thanks for joining me today for a couple of nature walks in Australia. What is a wooden path built above the ground in a forest? A boardwalk. How could you describe something slightly wet? Damp. How could you describe something so beautiful or interesting that you want to keep looking at it? Mesmerizing. Thanks for joining me today for a calm nature walk in Australia. If you'd like more videos like this, there are more coming. I'm creating extra listening and speaking practice videos to help you learn English quickly. Where would you like to go next? And which everyday English topics would you like to practice more? Please let me know in the comments. If this video has helped you, please subscribe for more simple Australian English practice. See you next time.